I wanted to say thank you, Claudia Nakay, for that song called Wow. I want to say we need to play that song every Monday, actually. It should be tradition. At 14:14, at 10 minutes past 2, every single Monday, we need to play that song as per tradition on the show.
Wait, you said Claudia Nakay?
Yeah, isn't that the name of the artist?
Chanda.
Oh.
That time I was like, because you know these artists personally.
I need a new pair of glasses.
No, here's the thing. You know these artists.
Defense.
You know all these artists personally. I thought maybe that's a name that we don't know.
No, these ones I don't know.
You know, you have all their numbers. That was Wow by Chanda Nakay and Amadei Rouge featuring Chef 187.
But what do you think of the idea of playing the song
I
every
love the
Monday?
Song.
Wow. It makes my day.
Oh, man, that's how we must start the week.
Yes.
That's how we must start the week. It's going to be an incredible week. We are already putting positive vibes, positive energy to you and yours listening at this station. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. It's going to be a great week. We are already putting it in the air. It's going to be a fantastic week. Own it, claim it, it's yours. Let's get into our conversation.
Absolutely. The festive season is literally 2 minutes away. All right. Property markets across the continent are starting to shift. We're seeing the shift from increased holiday rentals to changes in investment appetite as well. And that's exactly what we're going to be unpacking this afternoon when we look at the African property trends and what is actually shaping what the property market looks like in the last quarter of the year 2025. On the line with us to give us some insights is the CEO and founder of DutchessM Property Group, Motswapuleng Jacqueline Mpe. Welcome to the show, madam. Thank you. A pleasure to have you join us this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. I don't know your name, sorry.
It's fine. That's not important. I think what's really important is for us to look at the current data. Let's look at the current data. What are the key trends that we are seeing in African property markets as we enter this festive season for the year 2025?
Okay, once again, thank you for the invite. It's such an absolute pleasure to join you guys this afternoon. So from the from the current trends that we are currently seeing on the market, especially in the coastal side of the South Africa, we are seeing a lot of demands in terms of our short-term rentals, and then we are also looking in terms of the holiday hotspots, especially in the coastal areas. And when we look into the inland areas, the Joburg side, we are seeing more demands into the lifestyle estates and your tourist-friendly areas. More into people are looking into lifestyle estates, more with the schools, relaxed areas, and where they can be able to, the shops and then all that. But Cape Town is taking a lead because of you're looking at into the December, we've got a lot of internationals coming in and out, and on that sale, then we improve ourselves and then the rentals market from that point, because when you are looking into the international buyers, when they get inside the country, they get more attraction into the market, then they start making a lot of purchase, and then it's increasing a lot of demand for that. So Cape Town has more higher demand and then less supply, and then as opposed to the Joburg and then the other areas. And you look into the Durban as well. So the current trend in Durban is giving you that, because there are a lot of developments into the sectional title deed. So that's what people are looking for nowadays. They are no longer looking into the standalone. So they are looking for the more sectional titles to be able to relax areas, schools, and the lifestyle that is being provided into that.
Motswapuleng, as festive season is upon us, are we seeing people buying more during this time, or are people selling during this time?
The real estate market is quite an interesting market, to be specific. So we see a lot of people buying between September and November. So when we look into the festive season, the real estate market start booming around September, November. Then we look into that, because they start preparing for the new year, the new city, the relocation, and that. So they are buying. And then a lot of sellers in the market, there are quite a lot of houses on the market. So areas that has more sales is Johannesburg, most taking the down. But topping it on the number one. And then Cape Town, yes, you will think that it has more sellers, but we don't have a stock in Cape Town most of the time. So people are really, really buying into Cape Town property market. And then Joburg as well, that we see young people buying into that, starting their new homes and the families to that area. So they call, I think, a migration into the different areas.
Oh, wow. Mmatsheko. What's happening? Mmatsheko is...
Ask my question already. You need to ask yours.
Mmatsheko is shocked at that response because she's like, that means now I must go on to Property 24 and start buying, because this is the time of the year when people are buying to get ready for the next year. We're currently in conversation with Motswapuleng, Jacqueline Mpe, CEO and founder of DutchessM Property Group, and we're talking basically about the trends, the African property trends during the festive season. What are people doing on the ground? Are they buying more? Are they selling more? And what kind of properties are they investing in during this time? It's 20 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Continue the conversation right after this.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
Malawians go to the polls next week in a high-stakes general election where citizens will choose a new president and 229 members of parliament. And this comes 5 years after the country's 2019 election was annulled by the Constitutional Court due to widespread irregularities in a landmark decision that overturned the victory of the then-president Peter Mutharika.
I'm not saying we're a perfect government. No, nobody is. I mean, we've seen even South Africa facing challenges with the fuel that's going up and with whatever challenges. But you know what? When you are dealing with an IMF policy that says do not employ so many people because you are going to become a welfare government and all of that. And Dr. Jacqueline said I've got high numbers of unemployment. As a government that is answerable to Malawians, we have found IMF policies wanting on many issues. We believe the people who pay us taxes to put us in our positions, we owe them employment at the minimum.
That's Dr. Jesse Kwabila, who's the Minister of Higher Education in Malawi.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. This Heritage Month, we honor the beauty of our differences and the strength of our cultures. Listen to Channel Africa on Satellite Channel PAS 10. The Upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
21 past 2 p.m. in Central African time. We're looking at property trends during this last quarter of the year, and particularly because we're entering a festive season. On the line with Motswapuleng, Jacqueline Mpe. She is the CEO of DutchessM Property Group. Motswapuleng, let's talk about what the festive season dynamics, in terms of how they're going to impact our long-term investment strategies.
When we look into festive season, the dynamics and then your long-term investment strategies, you look into the demands that lies ahead in the area. So for an example, let's say you will say, I want to buy a property in Midrand. So you look, how often do people mostly visit Johannesburg in December or during the festive season? So you look into the areas, if you are an investor, you analyze the data as to, okay, what areas are they most visited in during the festive season, what happens during that time, and what happens most of the time approaching the seasons. Like, festive season, everyone is looking forward to go home and then to go on holidays, to start exploring the new things. So when you look into the property investment, you look into the areas like Balito, Plettenberg Bay, Garden Road, because Cape Town is now regarded as the most visited area when it comes to the investment strategies. So Johannesburg, you hardly visit it for holidays destination because everyone is there to work, as they say, and then you just tend to go back home to live. So the tourism in that area, the infrastructure development plays a huge role into that, and also balancing the lifestyle between the gains, the festive gains, as to the higher rental incomes, the what you can get most of the time in December in those areas that I have mentioned. And when you look into Polokwanes and your type of Johannesburg, then Mpumalanga and all those things, people, they do go there and there for holidays, but the rentals, the market, and the rate that is being charged in that is not giving you the long-term profit yield or the market yield that you are required whenever you put into the investment, because the investment is about the area that you are buying in, the location that you are putting in, the balance into that what kind of the investors are they mostly into that area. So that's what we look into considering the festive season dynamics.
Are we seeing more people moving towards off-grid living? I mean, this is something that I came across once upon a time on social media, some reports where more and more people are moving to the farms. They're buying their own little homesteads there. They're becoming self-sufficient. Is that a reality on the ground that we are seeing, that more and more people are moving to these secluded areas, not trying to stack themselves on another apartment, but rather moving to a space where they've got their own garden, they can farm? I would see more investments into those types of properties that can be converted into off-grid living, or are people still moving towards the cities because that's where the opportunities are?
To be quite honest with you, people that are going into the retirement. So when we talk of investment properties, you're looking into where is the economic hub of the country sitting at. So people, I tend to hear my clients will say to me that I want to have a house in the farm. I want to move the off-grid because of that. Is, the levies, the rates and taxes. People are tired of paying for the levies, the rates and taxes, the rules that comes with the complexes, because now and then it's evolving. You sit down and then there's a new legislation that comes about. People are just like, we are put together. If you look into most of the developments as well, it's more sectional titles. So people, they are moving into those areas because of they want to retire and all that. But for investors, most of them, they buy into the sectional title because that's where most the rental incomes comes in. The economy is based in Johannesburg. You need to stay in Midrand. You need to stay wherever that you can, so that, you can be able to move around. You can't go stay in a farm in Matatiele somewhere and then it says that economy is going to come there. There are not a lot of developments and infrastructure in the area. So when we look into the retirement, and also there is a huge demand of the retirement homes, especially that people now go into the retirement and then they move into those off-grid areas. Not particularly investors, but people buy farms for the retirement purposes.
Okay, that's very interesting insights, Motswapuleng. Let's talk about let's talk to the first-time buyer for a second, and look at what their prospects are at this time. How should they be navigating investing during this last quarter of the year, going into, of course, looking at the future of their investment, as it were?
Okay, quite interesting question. As a first-time, we're talking about an first-time investor, someone who says, I want to enter property market, create a portfolio of investment properties and build it from there. So my advice to those is that start with something small, where you look into the area. Is this area more in demand? And just to give more of an addition to that, when we talk about property investment into like buying and then the areas that you look at, because you don't want to find yourself investing into an area where you find the units becomes empty, or your place is not taken, or your place is not rented out. So it's quite important to conduct your research and then analyze the area very well. If you are not sure about that, it's also okay to consult with a professional. Like when you enter the market, what are we looking at? What are the levies and rates? Understand the cost that it comes with you buying there. What are the rental returns? What do you call them? The rental yield income. So the first-time home buyers, conduct your research, look into the area very well, understand the location and the environment that you want to invest on. And if it's a Kasi economy, how does it work? And then what are the challenges that you have to face? But most importantly, just understand the market and do a thorough research and look at the numbers.
Based on your analysis and what you have been able to or what you've been exposed to, are there certain areas that are seeing more of an interest now than we've seen in previous times before? Maybe some new development has happened in that area that now we're seeing more interest, because the central places, Joburg, Midrand, go to Durban, Cape Town, but are there other hidden gems, if you will, that people are starting to show more interest in, that is not really mainstream, that people know about?
Garden Route. I'm not sure if you're
Garden
more familiar
Route.
with the Garden Route. Yes, the
Beautiful,
Garden
beautiful
Route
place.
is a beautiful place because it's more developing and you look into your Saldanha Langaban area as well, the West Coast. Also, Pretoria East is quite great where everyone is like more looking into that because you look into Midrand, it's more central and all that. But
Yeah.
Pretoria East also catches the eyes of the investors. The areas, your KZN is also getting more developments, and then they look into that. But Garden Route, KZN, and then your Pretoria East, they get to that. But quite interestingly enough, Polokwane is also catching, some eyes now when it's starting to also pop up to say, okay, Polokwane is also developing right there and there. So people are also looking into that because I think it's quite reasonable to stay in Polokwane, affordable as well. So not cheaper per se, but it's affordable. But Garden Route, Langaban, your Pretoria East, they tend to get more attraction now.
You are definitely the woman we should be speaking to, whether we are first-time investors or we're looking to just expand a little bit and look at what else is out there. Thank you for the insights. This was incredibly helpful. If we are looking to perhaps engage with you further, perhaps look at investment, not just in the festive season, but just looking at property overall, maybe I'm looking to buy in a big metropole like Johannesburg or anywhere else, how can we get hold of you through DutchessM Property Group?
We've got our website called the DutchessM Property Group as well, and then my contact details are also there. Okay, and then I don't, sorry, I'm not that much of a social media person. Then yes, but my contact details are also 061 382 7971. So my other name that I normally prefer to use is Motswapuleng. So people can reach out to us for consultation because I also prefer doing the consultation before they can just, enter the market just to understand. So I can repeat the numbers. It's 061 382 7971.
Amazing. Motswapuleng, thank you so much for your time this afternoon and for your insights. The voice of Motswapuleng, Jacqueline Mpe, CEO and founder of DutchessM Property Group, just shining a light on the current trends in the property space during this festive season. Let's get the latest in sports. Fix Lingwati standing by.
Sports.